decision. What do you expect to hear from Republicans?
Well, the Republicans, this is for the second day in a row, a decision that the Republicans will condemn en masse, but party leaders are privately very much relieved. Yesterday's ruling supporting the Affordable Care Act and today's on gay marriage, they can say that both they disagree strongly that these are going to be big issues in the 2016 presidential election, but really they'd rather have the issue than have to be on the defensive and defending, well, what are you going to do now about all those millions of people that don't have insurance? And what are you going to do now about all the millions of people who are gay and who want to be married to the person they love? Now they can just have the issue with their constituents. As much as they say they want to make it an issue in the 2016 presidential election, I think that this decision, which as Susan said, is going to be a major historic landmark decision that we'll talk about for years for basic civil rights. It's not going to be a divisive one, I think, for the long term, like, say, Brown versus Board of Education in 1954 or Roe versus Wade. Some of the conservatives in the Republican Party have said that if the court upheld gay marriage, it would be the new Roe versus Wade. I just don't see that, just for the very reason that we've seen in such few years how the society has accepted it. And just one point on that, remember, this President Obama, when he came to office, wasn't even for gay marriage. And now it's virtually seen as one of the victories of his administration.
Susan.
Yeah, Jackie, I'm so glad you pointed that out. I was struck in a number of stories that I read yesterday previewing this decision that people were talking about, this is part of the positive Obama legacy when, in fact, even the president himself has moved on the issue. Remember, in 2012, that it was Joe Biden, and there was a big question, was it a gaffe? Did he force the president's hand? Did he, and this was just a few years ago. So, number one, it suggests a change. Number two, I think Jackie's point is excellent when it comes to the question of this legacy and will this be an ongoing controversy around gay marriage or not. It's important to note that there is a significant difference, which is, of course, that there are gay people, there are lesbians across all racial lines in the United States, across class lines. So this is something that affects Republican families too. Remember, Dick Cheney, has a daughter who is very proudly out as a lesbian and really clearly influenced his family's views. And I think that Jackie's right to say that there will be, on the one hand, political acceptance across a broad spectrum. On the other hand, we may well see that this plays to the worst instincts of our increasingly fragmented political system, in that, there's a lot of demagoguery that one can envision out of both this and the Obamacare decision. But my basic takeaway is that a year from now, in 2016, we're not going to be hearing a lot on the presidential campaign trail either about gay marriage or about Obamacare. I think there will be a different set of issues we're talking about.